ni hao, xin zhao, or whatever else your greeting of choice may be from another sweltering day in Shanghai, China. It's 37 degrees right now and I am melting. Welcome to the second episode of a little mini-series I'm doing on my favorite Chinese noodle dishes. Last time out, we were on the hunt for my favorite dish from Sichuan. And today, we're out here looking for two different dishes from the province, well, technically the autonomous region of Guangxi, which is also in the southwest of China. Guangxi is a special place for me and my wife, as it's where we met all those years ago in the small, laid-back, ridiculously picturesque city of Guilin. And it's Guilin that's home to one of the dishes that we're looking for today. Guilin Mifen isn't really a dish per se, any more than something like pasta is a dish. Mifen is simply the Chinese word for rice noodles. For a quick and super simple episode on Chinese, if you remember last episode we were looking for dandan mian. Well, mian is the Chinese word for noodles made with wheat. And fen is the Chinese word for noodles made with pretty much anything else. Guilin Mifen can be served in a variety of different ways, though in my experience it's most commonly served with pickled green beans, peanuts, spring onions and some sort of meat, quite often crispy skinned roast pork. When we were living in Guilin itself, we would often just order a bowl of noodles and add what we wanted buffet style. It's a simple, light, incredibly cheap and easy meal. Outside of Guilin, it can be far more complicated and expensive, and I found it one of the hardest dishes to find authentic versions of in other parts of China. Most of my experiences ordering it since leaving Guangxi have left me disappointed, so we'll just have to see what this place is like. Alright, verdict is that wasn't bad. A little bit spicier than I was expecting, but that's never really a bad thing. Not quite what I remember from Guilin, but certainly the closest I found outside of Guilin. And just like that, a change of scenery. I said in the intro that we were out here looking for two dishes from Guangxi. I picked the last restaurant for our video because it was one of the few restaurants I could find that served both of the dishes that we were looking for. Unfortunately, it turns out their online menu was a little bit out of date and they no longer serve the second dish that we wanted. The reason given to us by the owner is that his restaurant is on the ground floor of a residential building, and so he couldn't make it anymore because of the smell. You see, the other dish we've come looking for today is Luosifen, another well-known rice noodle dish, this time from Liuzhou, a city not far from Guilin. Luosifen gets its name from the river snails that are used to prepare the broth, but it gets its reputation, a well-earned one, as one of the more pungent Chinese snacks from the pickled bamboo shoots that are a key ingredient. Personally, I find the smell to be revolting, but as my wife, who is a big fan of the dish, has pointed out, I'm perfectly fine with stinky tofu, so I don't really have much right to complain. Alright, it looks like our noodles are here, so let's get stuck in. So my bowl is topped with, well, I think it's a deep fried egg of some description. I wasn't really familiar with this before coming here, but it seems to be on the menu for all of the Luosifen restaurants I could find. So I guess it must also be a bit of a local Liuzhou or Guangxi speciality. And the other thing I have here is swanmeitang. If you don't know what swanmeitang is, I guess it would be what, sour plum juice. It is absolutely delicious and the perfect accompaniment to any food. So refreshing. I guess there is probably one last thing that I should point out, which is that my Luosifen doesn't actually have any pickled bamboo shoots in it. Now, this isn't because I've copped out or anything, it's just because we have to order something that Felix can eat, and the pickled bamboo shoots are kind of spicy. So in order to lower the chili level so that he can actually eat something, one of us has to have a slightly less than authentic take on this. But don't worry, I will be stealing some of the misses, and I don't think she's going to mind because these bowls are quite large and there's a pretty large portion size. Also, last time when we went for the Guilin noodles, this was the crispy skinned pork I was talking about. This is, like, for me, the main thing about this dish, and they didn't have it at the last restaurant, which left me kind of disappointed, but they do have it here. And it was a perfect combination of taste and texture. Alright, I mean, there's not much else to introduce really, so I'm just going to tuck in. Okay, Deep fried egg is a very peculiar invention. Yeah, that pork is just really, really good. That's something I miss about Guilin because it's not common in a lot of other places. Like every bowl of noodles there, this beautiful crispy pork. This is good. This is a lot better than yesterday's noodles, I have to say. It's not that yesterday's ones were bad, but these are really, really good. Yum. Can I have a taste of yours? Let's see what the smelly version's like. Okay. 不能吃我的肉。所以这个是上唇是吗？ There are slight after hints of arse, but the overall the pickled bamboo isn't anywhere near as bad as I kind of expected. Doesn't smell great though. So pickled beans I was mentioning yesterday. They're a good addition. Alright, that one is a lot spicier. Back to mine. That pork is just too good. Alright, that's enough of me eating. Yeah, I'll see you afterwards for a little bit of a summary. Alright, all done, and that was really quite good. I did say at the start of yesterday's video that I was always expecting it to be kind of difficult to find authentic Guilin noodles, and so I wasn't really expecting to get the best. But even so, if you'd have told me that the Luosifen would have been the highlight of this video, I would have had a very hard time believing you. Yesterday's Guilin rice noodles certainly weren't bad, but there were a few things missing that would have made them a lot better if they'd been there. The pork being the key one, because that was a big part of my memory of how that dish was served. In contrast, I think I've only actually had Luosifen once before, back when we were in Guilin, and I don't remember particularly enjoying it. It may have helped this time that I didn't get the bamboo. Well, that may be the more authentic version of the dish. Having tried my wife's and my own bowl, which didn't have pickled bamboo shoots in it, I honestly have to say I think I preferred mine. Granted, mine wasn't spicy and I would have probably preferred a little bit of chili in there, but it's not like we could have got a full bowl of noodles just for Felix, so someone had to bite the bullet. Anyway, that's episode 2 of my little mini noodle quest. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you've never tried Luosifen or Guilin rice noodles and you think they look like something you want to try, then I'd certainly be really pleased if I somehow managed to introduce somebody to something new. I've ended this one pleasantly surprised, and yeah, see you next time out.